So today we're going to look at a couple of tasks in our training program. So we're going to move all the way down to task 5. So in this task, we're being asked to think about the different ways that we've practiced some of these skills, and the idea is that you'll keep coming back to this as you spend more time on the coffee cart. So when we think about this first one with coffee words or words about the machine, words for the process, words for customer service, what we could think about is making a list of some of the words that relate to these situations. So for example, with the coffee words, we might write down all the types of coffee and drinks that we serve. So an example might be a latte, maybe a cappuccino, lots of different ones there. If you can't remember them, look them up. Maybe you could think about the machine. So we've got lots of words to do with the coffee machine. So if you think, all the way through, first of all, they take their order on the iPad and then they use the square to pay. We know we've got a grinder. We could think about the group handle, which is what we use to put the coffee in. The group handle attaches to the group head, which is where the coffee comes out of. You might think about the wand. Have a think of, some other words that you might think. What do we put the milk in? What do we serve the coffee in, etc. With the process, you might think about the steps. So the first one, for example, is we take the order. What do we do after we take the order? What is the next person's job? What's the barista's job? Those are the types of things we're looking for there. And then the same for customer service. You might think about how do we say hello to our customers, etc. Then in this one, you might have some examples of when you've been explaining the coffee product, and you might talk about, having to tell others about the program. You might talk about when you're explaining to the barista what someone has done. It might even be if you've had to explain to someone what's been going on. So this one you might write, I used literacy to explain to my partner that someone had ordered an extra hot soy latte. The next one is your instructional language. So you could have a think about who have you been working with? Who's been teaching you the different things? So you could say, I listened when, or I was explaining when, or I was watching when, and you might give me an example, like when I was on the coffee cart and I was working with Sophie. You might not have looked at the financial information yet, but you might know the costs of some of the products. You might, so one of the tasks that we'll do this semester is we'll have a look at how much money the coffee cart makes and then compare that to how much it costs us to run the program. And you might find ways for us to save money. Another one is using the measurements to pour the coffee in the milk. So you might think about, how do we measure the temperature? How do we measure how much milk? Where do we know to pour the line to? And if you're not sure yet, that's okay. That's something that you're going to learn. Then these next ones, what are some of the goals that you've had for the program? What have you been doing? Was it, a goal to get up early or a goal to get up on time? Was it a goal to make sure that you put your shifts in so that you were organized? That's, very personal. Then you might reflect on your feedback from peers. What have others said to you? So you might say someone told me to ... or I have noticed that I need to improve on ... Okay. The next one is, what are your new plans? What else do you want to develop? What else do you want to learn? And then, have there been any challenges? Has there been anything that's been tricky or hard that you could use? Then you need to rate yourself against these criteria. So that's using the machine to make a coffee, using the steam wand to make the milk, and serving the customers. And it doesn't matter where you rate yourself, it's just about picking a point of your confidence so we can work on improving it.